Maneva na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Akwa ba de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say any day they can will tia be subscribe to channel no click bell no so say the news to our sons abet me aka tell no wetie Jonnie Hughes our adwuma wo media general and now dey nsem bia beto dwa efa niam a ekoso Ghana Education Service mra mofra omowie BEC omo peso omo to asoko SHS no nsensem epa no waba abonti abeka say the aya ban no sake headmasters ne mistress say omo GES cabinet ehun hia nti omo njai na intimidation omo intimidate headmasters ne mistress no because free SHS omo de buy no implementation ni very whack our chairman implementation kwa mo fa so implement free SHS nyenyenyenye to ama afi the headmaster na mistress because kan nyama omo hia aban ne nyepe no more atwenes in terms of more investigation no more intimidate omo no chirema asane ma aban ne ye enye na 14 from omo implement free SHS ni me nkasa bebre ye be ko ni akotie nsema Jonnie Hughes akafa asanse mi ho.
Now I begin the conversation with what is happening in our secondary schools. The GES in its usual format has asked teachers or headmasters who were charging inappropriate fees or illegal fees to step aside for investigations. This will not be the first time that the GES is asking anybody to step aside. A recent case is that of Dr. Sch00l of West Africa Secondary School. They asked Dr. Sch00l to step aside, and up until now, we do not know what the details of that investigations have been. The only thing we know is that Dr. Sch00l has been asked to go back, and we have not seen the report because the woman was dragged through the mud in the public. We have also seen, I showed you some place in the north. They asked the headmaster to step aside. They were going to conduct investigations. That report is still being kept. So they are learning from the Jubilee House where Al Jazeera writes to them, but they decide to keep the reply and they try to speak extempore to us, show us the document, we can read it and interpret. Now they're asking headmasters to step aside, and that didn't start now. You remember when we started free SHS? Was it Presec La or Teshi, one of the schools there? The headmasters were sacked, were dealt with because they spoke about the fact that they didn't have chairs. So the government and the authorities always try to find a way to cover up their inconsistency and their inability and their incompetence by trying to write letters. And I say, if in this country, the rule is that when you are mentioned in an issue, you are asked to step aside, then there should be a lot more ministers and heads of department and agencies and MCEs who should be asked to step aside for investigations to go on. But no, the teachers and the nurses are the softest targets that authorities can also always get. So they are always asking them to step aside. What really is the matter? Is the GES pretending not to know that the schools already, even though we hurriedly and unnecessarily cancelled PTAs or parent-teacher association. I mean, my child is in school. There's a teacher and headmaster and school administration that's taking care of them. And we cannot have a PTA, which is a common platform for us to interact and say, this is how we are training your children so that I can also make inputs. We cancel PTAs in this country. But we know that PTAs still exist, and we know that for old boys and old girls, PTAs still exist on platforms, and the schools are determined, the parents are determined to pay certain fees so that the children can get the best quality. Last week, I showed you the food that they were eating in the primary school. And I said their children would never eat those kinds of foods. So the schools have their own platforms where parents agree to pay, some 200, some 500, some 1,000. People donate. I know schools in Accra where parents have bought lawn mowers because they don't know when their children to go and weed with cutlasses. And I know it's there. We can't all pretend that it is not happening. And we cannot all pretend that when a prospectus is issued, it is a straitjacket thing, because there are certain schools that have certain tradition that has been kept over time. When we went to secondary school, ceremonial clothes and all those tie and cardigan and everything else was part of the thing. Our parents paid for it. They didn't complain. So why are you punishing people for trying to continue a tradition that already exists? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are we punishing people for trying to do? And you see, we always want to play to the gallery. We also always want to play the populist game, and then we come and say, oh, it is free, nobody's supposed to. But you and I know that the cost implications that parents have to bear is beyond what you call free. Let's put together what you are contributing to the parents in terms of tuition and other things. And let's calculate how much parents are spending on their own just to make sure that their children are comfortable. The food in the schools. I know parents who cook almost every week to take to their children in school, give them extra supplies. As I've said earlier, free SHS is good. The implementation is whack. Is nya. And we need to face reality, sit down and have a think through. Stop this over-politicization of this free SHS. Today you are buying past questions. Tomorrow you are doing this. Tomorrow you are doing this. Tomorrow you are doing that. Just to come and say that, oh, we have these number of children in school and these number of children have passed and it is the highest in West Africa. And then watch the quality. Children are going to school for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and they come back and sit home for 3 months. Watch the quality. So somebody has gone to a certain secondary school, and for all the 3 years, they don't even know who their seniors are. They don't know who their juniors are, because by the time the seniors are leaving school, the juniors are now coming, like we have now. Seniors are going home, juniors are staying in school. So they will finish and they don't know who their seniors are. They don't know who their juniors are. That school culture that was built. So today I see my seniors from school. I know them, they know me, we interact, we hobnob. It is not there. You are damaging the fabric of society. And all you can do is to suspend people and write letters. And also, like I'm saying, what is that? What is the meaning of that? Instead of you to sit down and fix the policy as it is, you are busy. I mean, maybe we should have a league table for which headmaster or headmistress is interdicted every now and then because we are trying to cover up some rubbish that is happening within officialdom. Maybe we should have that. The reality on the ground is that parents are paying more than they were paying. If you tell people that there's free education, let it be seen in their lives. But to the extent that parents are paying more, there's a problem. And I don't see why you should target the headmaster. If you promise them to give them something to keep the school running, and for 3 months you have not brought it and the children are in school, and the headmasters and headmistresses appeal to people, what's the point? I've told you here on this platform before how a whole school's budget for home economics practicals and visual arts practicals was about 9,000, and what they sent just for one department was about 9,000. What GES sent to the school for the whole visual arts, whole economics, and whole general science thing was 7,000 cedis. Now, if one department needs 9,000 and you send 7,000 cedis for 3 departments, how are they going to cope? So parents then have to come in. If the headmaster or headmistress goes to ask for money, boy, go home. What kind of thing is that? What kind of thing is that? You're just behaving like those typical bad police people who stop trot people on the road every now and then for no offense, and then all they do is to collect money from them. And so because of that, they trot people to, instead of picking a vehicle from Kwashiman to say Kaneshi, they will pick from Kwashiman and come and drop you at Odoko. They will pick you from Odoko and come and drop you at Kaneshi. Then they will pick you from Kaneshi and come and drop you at Accra. And they will charge you sopi. Instead of charging you from maybe Kwashiman straight to Accra, they will charge you sopi because they need to make extra so that they can feed the insatiable desire of that corrupt policeman who is always stopping them on the road and collecting sales. 1 CD, 2 CD, 5 CDs. That's what GES is doing. That's how they are behaving. That is exactly how GES and Ghana Education Service are behaving. Mr. Process, Dr. Process, watch your people. Watch your people.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.